Not a military story. It is a first responder story, but it is fantastic nonetheless. And this is one of those stories where you think you know the ending. You think you know what happened, and you don't. So I'm very excited to share this with you. I have it saved. From William. This is not a military story, but it gets a good laugh whenever it gets told. At the time, I was an EMT student doing my field internship with a department that shall stay unnamed. We are dispatched to an apartment to stand by as law enforcement is responding to a possible domestic violence incident. Once the scene is determined to be clear, the PD calls over the radio, "Get the ambulance up here right now." As we arrive, my preceptor, a paramedic, we shall call Joe, and his EMT partner, who we shall call Steve, tell me to stay close due to the lack of information, and we're not sure really what's going on. But as we approach the building, there are police cars scattered throughout the street, and I start to notice that there are 4 officers outside, and they seem to be laughing. So Joe asks, "What's going on?" And one of the officers says, "It's a penetrating injury." And the other officers begin laughing even harder. We're directed to the 3rd floor where we meet the PD sergeant. He informs us he's never seen anything quite like this in his 15 years in law enforcement. Now, me being 18 years old and some dumb kid, my adrenaline starts pumping and I'm excited for my first real trauma. And of course, I'm thinking this is what I've trained this moment for, and it's to save human lives. We enter the apartment and are directed to the bathroom. There is a female standing in the corner, wrapped in a towel, talking to a couple of officers, and she is crying. As we enter the bathroom, we find a male in his mid-20s bent over in the shower, and he has a towel draped over his back. Joe tells me to start assessing the patient, so I introduce myself and my preceptor and ask the patient what seems to be the problem today. He explains, "My girlfriend and I decided to try something different, and we lost it up there." Lost what up? And the patient cuts me off mid-sentence and says, "The dildo! The dildo is stuck up my ass." Joe lifts the towel and pulls it back and takes over because he sees that my brain is broken after hearing these words, the dildo is stuck up my ass, come out of his mouth. Joe gets more information while my brain does the dial-up internet sound trying to reboot. Joe and Steve get the patient out of the bathroom and lay him on his side, and we take him into the ambulance. At some point on the way to the hospital, my brain resets and I notice a lump forming under the blanket. I tell Joe, and sure enough, this was not a butt plug, but most definitely a whole ass dildo. Now, because of the meds Joe had gave the patient for pain, he was relaxed enough for the dildo to start working its own way out. As we get to the ER, we are directed to one of the rooms and we hang out to assist the nurses when in walks this little Asian lady and she introduces herself as Dr. Wong and she looks at the injury. At this moment, I can and will never look at the sound of a champagne bottle being opened in the same way. Wong looks at the patient and says, this going to hurt. Proceeds to grab the ball sack of the dildo that is now fully exposed and pulls it out of this man, and it makes a and a thud. A sound that I said sounded like a champagne bottle. The man let out an "oh yeah" that couldn't match that of the Kool-Aid man. On the way back to the station, we sat in complete silence with no words said by any of us. He goes, 10 years later, I worked full-time for my local EMS agency. I've seen some things that would scare anyone, but to this day, that man and what he did lives rent-free in my head. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I giggle like a schoolgirl whenever I hear a champagne bottle being opened.
I also love Rich's storytelling because Dr. Wong did not need to sound Asian, but it added to it.
I had to. Dr. Wong.
Dr. Wong.
Dr. Wong. Oh, I see the balls are here. Let me pull them out of you. No, Dr. Wong, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Do you think the "oh yeah" was sexual or like he just took a massive shit and finally got it out of him?
I like to think
Probably
it was
a mixture.
like having your back cracked. You know, or like when your ear needs to pop because the altitude in the plane is lowered and it's not going, and then it finally does.
But instead of your ear popping, it's a massive dick.
It's your butthole popping. His booty popped.
See the difference there, Nick?
Nick, you're a medic. At what altitude does the booty pop?
I don't know.
It's 18 inches.
Nick, what's the worst thing you had to do as a medic?
Kiss another man.
We had a guy. I'm trying to think of gross shit. It was nothing crazy. I mean, we had one guy that kept coming in every day because he was sick of being at AT, claiming he was a heat cat when he was not. So at one point, we're like, this is like the fourth day in a row he's come here trying to get out of the field. Give him the gigantic anal thermometer, and then we're gonna ice sheet the shit out of him. We did that to somebody, and then
did he ever come back?
Several more times. He got
three times that day.
No, he did not. And then there was one time we had a infantry guy that had testicular torsion, so his nutsack was super swollen. We thought he had like an STD or something at first, but it ended up being, we thought it was testicular torsion, and then he ended up having like gonorrhea or some other STD after he went to the hospital for it.
Super real.
That's worse. Testicular torsion? What is it?
Torsion.
That is the worst one because it can just happen, right?
Yeah. You could just wake up with it.
That's terrifying. And it is apparently like painful.
Fairly common, yeah.
I mean, that's the rhetoric that they use.
Yeah. It's when they twist.
Is that a rhetorical question?
Dude, I worked with this kid. What the was his last name? But while they were in Turkey, he got that. And by the time they got him to a hospital, like the testicle was like dead, and they had to fly him out. And he had a fake one. They put a fake one in there, like a silicone one. Look, I didn't believe him. And some strange things happened in the Army. And I was like, bullshit, you don't have a fake nut. And he like pulled it out and was like, flick it. And I was like, bullshit. And I flicked it and nothing. It was definitely a fake nut.
You can get fake nuts for your dog.
That got rich. Wait, what? Okay, pause. You can ask them to put two fake balls in your dog?
Yeah.
And Ethan will come flick them for you.
Look, you hear some weird shit in the Army, and I'm like, bullshit. And I'm gonna fold this kid when I flick this thing. No, dude, nothing.
And there he was.
He came. His skin still feels stuff.
Snapping
the skin around the fake ball is still there, and you flicked it. And he was just like, I didn't feel it. Do it again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. No, that's definitely the fake ball that you're flicking, not the real one that I'm ejaculating with right now.
Yeah, do it again.
You got tricked to ejaculate a man.
Because I flicked a nut that he said was fake? That doesn't count.
Exactly. That he said was fake. You're like taking this like he's the doctor.
He was a he's a sub. He's just like, yeah, it's fake. Look at this scar tissue.
It's just the seam of his nutsack. It's not even a scar. It's just the line on his that we all have on our balls,
bro. It went right down the middle of his nutsack.
Look, I share too much with you fucking people, okay?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm having a good time here. I made Nick like back away from the mic 4 times this episode.